Yes, very good morning. Shall we begin the session? Today's topic is the chapter number 2, that is the focus on the environment, focus on the eventual things, focus on each and everything. So teachers who are unfamiliar with the integrating research that must be knowing with the curriculum, with the very useful background, with the very information in this chapter. What will I find in this chapter? So three components that is available in the research activity. That is the student, teachers and resources that are listed and described. Now, on the research, what is the research? That is the ability to investigate the thing systematically and truly, all that comes under your observation. And when we talk about the research, that is an ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under your observation in the life. So whatever the research skills, whatever the research criteria that will be taken out, that is an ability to invest systematically and truly all that comes under your observation. And taking the philosophers advice, a systematic investigation of the word research has been taken out, has been revealed the literal meaning of the repeated, that is a going over, and looking find and looking through to find something, that is a search, that is a research. To find something going over, that means again and again we are finding something, again and again we are doing something, that is a research. So it is the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under observation in the life. And taking the philosopher approach or advice, that is a systematic investigation research reveals the literal meaning of the repeated, that is a going over and looking through find something. And putting it all together, we can conclude that research is a process that seeks an answer to a question. And those systematic skills and the procedure that bring the seekers closer to the answer, closer to the focus of this development, this design, that will be the research activity that is going on to investigate systematically and truly that comes under observation in the life. Now, this is one of the examples. This picture says that there is a research skill that develop within the organization and without the organization. And then when we talk about the student, if we believe that the research and the study skills or information skills or whatever we want to call them are important, then there must be a systematic approach to their development. That approach must be used, or that must be a systematic approach with the development, with the information skills, be whatever to use, be whatever important that is required. And students need research skills to shape their research for the answers. And the systematic approach to the development of these skills will yield students ready for the independent problems, ready for solving the scenarios, the observations, ready for the lifelong learning. And the key idea is to teach a process that can be transferred to any research institutions or the situations. So whatever the skill that is carried out, whatever the target that is used out, so that will be used to teach a process that can be transferred to any research situation. Now students learn research skills more readily when there are skills that are integrated with the curriculum, that are taught with the focus on developing independent learners and critical thinkers, that are viewed by the students as well as their needs. What are their needs? What are their requirements? What are their benefits that is required? Then that are viewed by the student, that is relevant to their needs and that are related to the student's past experiences, and they are shared through cooperative learning. So these are the research skills that will be developed with the ongoing activity with the information skills, with the approaches of a systematic approach to their development. Yeah, that are integrated with the curriculum activity. They are integrated with the focus on the developing the skills. They are categorized with the students' approach. They are categorized with the past experiences. And using these same process skills, they are processed or they are proceed from the primary grades to the higher education that will enable students to become familiar with the steps required for research, understands a framework that supports teaching for the or searching for the information, internalize the variety of the research procedures for independent usage, and adapt procedures to the situations, to the conditions. That becomes familiar with the steps, becomes familiar with the steps or the grades required for the research. Then focus on the teacher and the teacher librarian. So a school library program under the direction of a teacher librarian who is skilled in the cooperative planning and the teaching. It also provides the most effective environment for the teaching of the research skills and the procedure. Whatever the research skills, whatever the teaching aid that will be required, that will be used for the teaching of the research fields and the procedure. And cooperation between the teacher librarian and the subject area teachers in the development of the effectively planned resource-based activities or the research activities that ensure that the students are taught the research skills as well as the subject content. However, in the absence of a teacher librarian, professional direction and the involvement that will be provided by the principal and the teaching staff of the school. So that will be given with the policy guidelines, that will be given in the procedures, standards for the school libraries in the Albert. And to integrate research skills into the curriculum, the teacher or the student or the teacher librarian should understand the skills involved in the research, be committed to the student-centered learning, plan for the research skills and thinking skill development, be flexible in teaching styles, be aware of the children's need and the capabilities, then adapt to new findings in learning theory and the child development. So first is understand the skills involved in the research, be committed to the student-centered learning, plan for the research skills and the thinking skill development, be flexible in the requirement, be flexible in the teaching styles, and be aware of the student support, children needs and the capabilities, and adapt to the new findings, new capabilities, new learning theories and the child development. Now this approach may be positive, may be negative. It depends on the adaptive, it depends on the learning and the findings in the learning theory and the child development. And next is on the teacher as a facilitator model. As the student works through the research steps, the teacher motivates the students to locate, analyze and use the information. Then it also, or the teacher also assists the student to clarify the thinking through questioning, paraphrasing and talking through the task. Then it also provides the students with opportunities to record the information. Provides the students with opportunities to focus on the steps that is also required to complete research. Then individualize the teaching. That means categorize the teaching into different parts. Then evaluate the student progress in content in the process areas. Models research behavior, example demonstrating, example modeling the project behavior or the problem solving process. And facilitates and models questioning behaviors, example providing the opportunities for students to develop and ask questions. Then on the resources, that is a resource-based research activity that also carrying on with the required access to an adequate resources, quantity and variety of the appropriate up-to-date print and non-print resources from the school library. So whatever the library resources, whatever the procedures, whatever the printouts, non-printout resources that will be carried out with the community and the other sources. And a wide selection of the information sources expands the classroom resources, expands or it also allows the teachers and the students to meet the individual learning needs, develop the competency in the reading, writing, speaking, listening and viewing. And suggested minimum resources standards for Alberta also indicated in the focus in learning. And throughout this document, teacher also refers to the teacher and the teacher library. Chapter number 3, that is the research and its component. What is the meaning of research and what is its component? So this chapter gives a total overview of the research skills and the procedure and that is presented in this chapter. And this information is useful to all the teachers. What will I find in this chapter? That is the research skills, then research skill continuum and the research level continuum. There are two parts of this. One is the research skills continuum, one is the research level continuum. And the method of teaching which approaches most nearly to the method of investigation, that is incomparably the best, since not content reserving a few barren and the lifeless field, but it reaches to the store from which they grow. So whatever the approach they are taking out, whatever the research skill they are taking out, okay, they are taking out the research skill of the continuum and the research level continuum we taking in this chapter that are centered on the investigate method of the teaching and the learning. And beginning with the thorough planning process, whatever the thorough planning process, and ending with evaluation, the research skills continuum has its heart, the critical evaluation of information skills of retrieving, processing, and sharing. So there are three parts: retrieving, retrieve the information, gather the information, process that information, and then share that information. Now, what are the various stages? First is the planning. What are the various skills? Establish the topics, identify the information sources, identify the possible or the audience and the presentation formats, and establish the evaluation criteria, review the process. That is the planning. Then information retrieval, locate the resources, collect the resources, review the process. In the planning phase, it is used with the establishing the topic, it is used to identify the information sources, it is used to identify the audience and the presentation format, used to evaluate or establish a evaluation criteria and then review process. And in the information retrieval, it is used to locate the resources, how to locate them, how to use them, how to collect that resources with the review process. The next is the information processing. To choose the relevant information, evaluate the information, then organize and record information, that is information processing, make connections and inferences. Making the connections and inferences that is used with the information processing. Then create product, whatsoever the product that is taken out that is used for the information processing. Then revise and edit. What we revise, what we gain the input, and what we edit them. Make the changes and the amendments of the information. Then information sharing. So present the finding to the others, share that information to the others, demonstrate the appropriate audience behavior, then review process. Then evaluation, evaluate the product, evaluate the research procedures and the skills. Evaluate means analyze, we can say. So analyze the product, analyze the research procedures and the skills. Now this is an overview of the research skills continuum with the various functions, with the various stages, with the various skills. So planning, information retrieval, information processing, sharing, evaluation, this can be done with the various parts of the research skill that will be going on with the curriculum activities. Yes, the information sharing and the information retrieval, both are the different things. In information retrieval, we retrieve the content, we retrieve the information. In processing, we process that information, what information we retrieve. Then sharing, we share that information with others, present that information, present that finding to the others. So retrieval, processing, and the sharing. At last, there is a evaluation. That is, evaluate the products, whether the product is right or not. Now, let's start with the first one, that is the planning. How we plan something, that is the introductory level, advanced level. The first part is the planning, that is stage 1. There are two parts, introduction level or introductory level and the advanced level. Introductory level at the, yes, these are the two levels, that is from the base to the intermediate or the advanced. So first is the teacher librarian directed, student directed. So one is establish the topic, teachers or the teacher develop with the students an understanding of the purpose and the research. Then student-directed students establish the purpose for the research. So one is teacher develop with the students with an understanding of the purpose. Students establish the purpose for the research. Then a teacher also teaches or determines the topics or provides the limited options. Limited option in the sense fulfill options, criteria option that will be used with advanced level that will be used with a specific topic. The teacher also leads the student to share the experience and the knowledge of the previous experience. And teaching also includes the topic using the various resources. Variety of resources are available with which examines what they already know or consulting a variety of the resources. Then teacher also help the students develop and organize the questions to guide the research. And this also used with the research questions with the focus on new areas of the knowledge and application. Whatever the new area, whatever the new knowledge, whatever the new concept that will be used with the focus on new areas of the knowledge and the applications. So first part is establish the topic that it covers with the two categories, teacher and the student categories. Introduction to the advanced level. Now, when we talk about the introduction level that is used with the purpose for the research, with the purpose of the student to understand what is the main base, what is the starting point. For example, if I'm talking about the OSI model that is taken out, that is the Open System Interconnection Model. So first of all, take out these three words. What is the meaning of these three words? That is the Open System Interconnection. And what is the meaning of the model? Starting from the base, then going on with each and every ladder, each and every phase, each and every step, and reaches to the last phase, that is the presentation phase. Yeah, there's the application phase that is also used, application layer, but the main important is the presentation phase because that converts from the introductory to the advanced level. So this depends on the teacher capability, teacher approach, or the student approach, and the student directed, the research or that uses for the research. And teacher also determines topics or provide the limited actions that chooses a specific topic. And this also leads the student to share experiences, knowledge of the topic, and this may introduce the topic using the various resources, examining what we already know, or consulting a variety of the resources. And also help the student to develop and organize the questions to guide research. Research questions are used with a focus on new areas of the knowledge and the applications also. To establish the topic, to establish the report. Then identify the information sources. The teacher leads the class in brainstorming for sources of the information that is used in the community, that is used in the school. And teacher also introduces the format for the collecting the information. What type of information they are gathering out. That information may be taken out from the surveys information, the sources in the school and the community. That also helps, that also develop the community among the majority questions among the new areas of the knowledge and the skills applications. To clarify the topic by examining what they already know or consulting a variety of the resources. And students also choose a specific topic